This is one of the biggest NBA trades ever. Like I was watching First Take today and they were like, Phoenix, are they the favorite? I'm like, guys, like out of all the, I have 16 Pantheon guys, right? Only 6 of them have ever been traded. Like at some point where they were in their prime or near the tail end or, Kareem in 75, Wilt in 64 and 68, Oscar in 70, Shaq in 04 and Moses in 82. 5 of those 6 trades led to a title. So let's start there. The Suns are the favorites. I think it's them in Boston, right? They're at least the favorites in the West. I think they can win the title from this trade this year. What was your instant reaction?
Yeah, I think, we could talk pricing and market and all that kind of stuff because I think that's probably one of my favorite things about what's gone on the last couple of years is just kind of figuring out, like, how do you price anything anymore? It's really hard on the comps. But if you're running Phoenix with new ownership, new owner syndrome, this is a great, like, to talk about going from a leaked report where Isaiah Thomas is going to be running your organization to no, that's not true. We got Kevin Durant a day later, like all-time emotional roller coaster, which also tells you, like, from the Kelvin Sampson playbook, I feel like Isaiah Thomas leaked that. And they were like, dude, we're going to handle this. Because I'd heard one time when Ballmer bought the Clippers, like Isaiah Thomas was just around forever, being like, let me run the team. Feeling like you just turn on that charm. So I think the conversation, Bill, is real simple because I know we're going to spend a lot of time on this. Is like, do you want to make this deal and be the favorites in the West? And there's just something about saying.
Well, did you read the reporting?
Well,
where
which part?
It was basically like Woj had last night. It was, they were leaning toward John Collins was going to be the trade today. And it seemed like around 8:00 last night, Ishbia told James Jones, like, hey, man, let's go get Durant. Like, what are we doing? Let's actually do this. And that's when, within 2 hours, it was done. But they had to put bridges on the table. So your new owner syndrome thing, I think Ishbia last night was like, John Collins, that's going to be my first move. Let's go fucking get one of the 15 best players ever. Let's go.
Yeah. And that's a hard thing to resist, especially with even being a new owner. I mean, usually the new owner is totally screwed up on the first transaction. And we'll see. I mean, we never know. Like, there's going to be this run in future. Right. The worst deal Danny Ainge probably ever did in a trade was the first one where they took on Rafe's contract and then had to use a lottery pick to flip it for Theo Ratliff's contract just to save a year on money. And you start going down that road, it's like, all right, what are we doing? I mean, that's like, speaking of Isaiah Thomas, that's what he kept doing. He kept trading the expiring contract that wasn't great for a slightly better player with a longer contract. It's what the Cavs did around LeBron the first time he was there. But I mean, if you're the Suns and you go, okay, we got Booker, Paul, Ayton, Durant, Cam Johnson's a bit of a loss. Bridges is a nice player, but when you go, hey, we've got those 3 to 4 dudes, like, what are we?
That which was the goal. You're just flipping your wings into Durant and you're keeping everything else.
Yeah,
and
so
then
hey,
you can patch in together. You can get buyout guys. You can get lucky with Damian Lee, campaign, and people like that. But you have the 4, and you can build around that for 3 years.
Yeah, that's a really hard thing to. I don't care if you've been owning a team for 20 years. Like, do you want to be the favorites in the West tomorrow? Doesn't mean it doesn't guarantee anything. But like, when you think about the other trades, right? We'll go over a bunch of these things when we talk about the Lakers at some point. You're like, okay, I
think we should save the other trades for tomorrow because I think this first part should just be about this trade and all of the tentacles of it. I think we could save everything for later. This is by far the biggest thing because it also destroyed the Nets, which we can go into later.
Yeah, but it's not about me getting into a deep dive in the other trades. It's just simply like when you're sitting in the room and you're talking about, hey, we can do this deal. Okay, what does it guarantee us? And a lot of these deals guarantee nothing. Like, hey, we're going to win an extra round, or we know we're in the top 4 of the West now, or whatever. This, okay, in the best version of events, puts you atop everybody else in the West, in a West where, this now feels a little dismissive of Denver because they've been really steady and really good and they're healthy. And it's like when you watch them, you go, man, they've really figured some things out defensively. I still don't believe that Memphis is this total mess. I still would have a lot of Memphis stock. There's other teams now where it's hard, but
Golden State too.
Yeah, you get to sit there if you're Phoenix and wake up today going, we've got a real chance to do this. And it feels a little bit like the Anthony Davis Lakers trade.
Yeah, I agree. And it's a Simmons Russillo. We approve the trades when you give up this many assets if you can actually guarantee that you might make the finals.
Yeah.
It can't be like we increased, we're good now, we're in the mix. It's got to be like you're giving up. You think like just the Bridges piece of this alone, OG Anunoby, I think he's better than OG Anunoby.
Well, because he is.
And also he's been in bigger games and we've seen him when Booker went out, he increased his points, all that stuff. And OG Anunoby's out there for like 3 first rounders and Zaire Williams. So you think like they got 4 first rounders, they got a pick swap, they got Bridges. They also got Cam Johnson, who probably, if he was traded separately, is worth at least a first. And maybe, could they have gotten like the Lakers 2027 first for him? Like maybe. So I just think the haul that they gave up, which I think we both think was probably worth it if you're trying to win the title. But man, I don't know how to make sense of the cost of this stuff either. It's like the gas prices analogy where it's like gas is $8. Okay. I filled my tank yesterday. It was $180. I have no idea why. I have no idea why this became the price. Think about the Barkley, your guy Barkley. Tim Perry, Andrew Lang, and Jeff Hornacek. That was the price 30 years ago. There were no picks at all. And now it's like you're just basically gutting the rest of the decade, your 2 best young players, and you're hoping you can win a title in the next 3 years. We don't know what's going to happen. Durant and Booker on the books for, I think, $102 million in 2026, $108 million in 2027. Like long term, this might be a disaster, but they don't care.